Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Neon. I'm here to talk more about Ghostbusters 3. We've been talking a lot about it since they made the announcement last week that Jason Reitman is going to be doing a proper third Ghostbuster movie that continues the story from Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Now, the biggest rumor is that all three of the remaining living original Ghostbusters are going to be appearing for sure in the movie. This has not been confirmed. This has not been confirmed at all. As far as we know, no one's even talked to Jason Reitman yet about it, save for maybe Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd seems to know everything that's going on with Ghostbusters 3 behind the scenes. He sort of tipped his hand in interviews last year, but this is coming from Dread Central, which is a horror news site. And I do like the headline because this is very accurate. Let's be clear, none of the original Ghostbusters have been confirmed for Ghostbusters 3. First came the shock, then came the unbridled enthusiasm. Now the dust is settling, and frankly, I'm over here scratching my head over Sony's announcement that Ghostbusters 3 had been given the green light with the original cast attached. Now, the studio may be forced to temper fan expectations as those adept at reading between the lines become more convinced there's some sleight of hand at play. Uh-oh! For starters, there seems to be a consensus that Ghostbusters 3 will serve as a passing of the torch, wherein the original Ecto Warriors will recruit a younger team of paranormal enforcers to take their place. Yes, this actually was the plan all along, from what I understand. That sounds like a setup for a completely new franchise. In other words, it sounds like a reboot. I don't know, can we say that? Worse, news that the original Ghostbusters seems to have been that the original Ghostbusters will be involved, seems to have been a gross overstatement. Ernie Hudson, who played Winston in '84, confirmed as much during an appearance on the Johnny Dare Morning Show. Nobody has approached me with a contract. Nobody has approached me with a contract. Now, it doesn't mean they're not talking. That doesn't mean they're not talking, but nobody has approached the original Ghostbusters yet, save for, again, I believe, Dan Aykroyd, who always seems to know more about Ghostbusters 3 than anybody else. Hudson hasn't been contacted. Why should we believe that Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd have confirmed their participation? I will bet even if one original Ghostbuster appears in this movie, it will be Dan Aykroyd. Bill Murray is still up for grabs. He has stated on multiple occasions he does not want to do another Ghostbusters movie, but he did have a cameo and Answer the Call in the 2016 Ghostbusters. So if he could do a cameo in 2016 Ghostbusters, why couldn't he do reprise Venkman for Ghostbusters 3? Even if he's a walk-on, even if he's a ghost. He said before he wanted to die and be a ghost. So maybe they could do that for him. So basically Josh Millican is going on about how it sounds like a reboot. And yeah, I do think it's going to be a partial reboot. I think they're going the Force Awakens route with this, where it's a sequel / soft reboot. And, maybe if Venkman does appear, they will kill off Venkman by the end of the movie, just to make sure people know he's not coming back. But yeah, he talks about the Ecto-1 sitting in a warehouse. It's not a warehouse. That is actually a barn, and it's more than likely, I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, people say it's been confirmed, it's more than likely Ray's family farm. So again, if any Ghostbusters appear in this movie, even if one Ghostbuster appears in this movie, I can almost guarantee you it will be Dan Aykroyd, and he will be the mentor character. So again, we've got more information on Ernie Hudson. Just a lot of speculation. He's basically saying, here's more information from Ernie Hudson. I don't know. Nobody has approached me with a contract. I think the Ghostbusters fans have been wanting a passing of the torch dynamic to happen, so I know whatever happens is going to be in that tradition. I'm excited about that. I'd be more than excited if they called me and offered me a job, but no matter what happens, the fact is, what they're doing is really cool. And now he was, if I remember correctly, Ernie Hudson was kind of critical of Ghostbusters 2016, and then he had to backpedal. He had to backpedal a little bit on those comments. Probably Sony put some pressure on him, but he did have a cameo as Patty's uncle in Ghostbusters 2016. All of the original remaining cast had a cameo. Even Harold Ramis had a cameo as a bust in the college, if I remember correctly. So again, the rumor is they're going to have a mixed cast. They're going to have 2 boys and 2 girls. We joked before it sounds a little like Scooby-Doo, but it could also be sort of like, Extreme Ghostbusters. Extreme Ghostbusters went that route, and, a lot of fans actually liked it. So, maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see, what happens. I'm assuming at least one of those characters will have a connection to one of the original Ghostbusters. It really wouldn't make a lot of sense otherwise, but who knows. Now, rumors are going around that Bill Murray, now I've seen this on Twitter, actually Geeky kicked me over a photo that's making the rounds on Twitter. It's like, look, Bill Murray's back in the Ghostbusters suit. They're filming it, and Bill Murray's in it. No. This is actually, these photos were from the 2010 Scream Awards, where Bill Murray did put the Venkman suit on. He put the Venkman suit on, even though he's not a big fan, and he freaking hates the Proton Pack. I've heard from multiple people that Bill Murray hates wearing the Proton Pack. And just as a side note, speaking of geeky and speaking of Bill Murray, she's actually met Bill Murray before and said he was very nice. So she's actually talked to Bill Murray in person. Pretty nice guy from what I've heard, but I don't know if he's going to be involved in Ghostbusters. I have no idea if he's going to want to do another one. I guess if the money's right and he had a guarantee that this was the last hurrah, I could see him doing it. And again, he said multiple times he wants to be a ghost, so I could see them totally just killing off Venkman and turning him into a ghost. So we'll see. So other Ghostbusters news, since we are gearing up for the 35th anniversary of Ghostbusters, there's a ton of tie-in comics coming. Ton of tie-in comics coming from IDW. Now, I've actually not read any of IDW's Ghostbusters comics, but I have heard from people whose opinions I trust that they're actually pretty decent. So they're going to be releasing a ton of comics, actually covering all of the Ghostbusters continuities. We're talking the original Ghostbusters. We're talking the real Ghostbusters cartoon continuity. We're talking Answer the Call. I know that Leslie Jones thinks that Answer the Call is being erased from existence, but guess what? They still got comic books. So Patty will live on in comic books. And Extreme Ghostbusters, which we talked about earlier. So all 4 of the main Ghostbuster storylines. I want to see Sega Genesis Ghostbusters. I want to see like super giant head Bill Murray characters. But anyway, yeah, they're going to be doing a series of comic books to commemorate the 35th, and that's probably why they made the announcement the way they did to kick off this big promotional push for the 35th anniversary of Ghostbusters. But again, none of the original cast has actually committed that we know of. So take all of this with a grain of salt. We really don't know anything about what's going to happen other than that they're doing a movie that takes place in the original timeline. We don't even know if this is going to be any good. I mean, let's be honest. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I also know that Ghostbusters was a once in a lifetime occurrence. They couldn't even replicate it with Ghostbusters 2, in my opinion. I don't know how it's going to go, but Jason Reitman certainly does have the pedigree. He certainly does have the pedigree to hopefully pull off something decent. So we shall see. Please subscribe to Clownfish TV for more pop culture news, views, rants, gaming videos, art videos, and more. This has been Neon. I'll talk to you later.